I'll give you more information about my human rights complaint with BC that'll very likely, it's so big, there's so many, it's interconnected, I'm not even finished bringing more to their attention, and it might get moved to the Canadian Human Rights Tribunal, and it'll fail there as well. Not because of merit, because people aren't ready to have those conversations about human rights violations because it includes systemic issues in their cultures. So, one of the things that I'll never be able to do is retire and grow old on a particular property that I've wanted to be on for, well, more than a decade, I can say, at least since I thought about that. And I'm not even sure I could get that property anyways, but one of the reasons that I'm certainly not going to get it is income. It doesn't come for free. I'd have to purchase it. It's not a huge amount compared to the price of homes, I would say. But it's also not in BC. So for me, I'd have to be able to leave BC. And leaving BC means to have been able to generate income or to have a source of income close to this property. And that'll never be possible, and I've documented why, and it incorporates various institutions, governments, individuals. And it's sad because that's my thing to look forward to. It's not just the BC and Canadian government stole my retirement plan for when I turned 49, but they also kind of create barriers for this. Now, Human Rights Tribunal will hear about various forms of systemic issues in education involving unions with the medical system. And because I'm trained in a way that I could work as a mental health worker with, health authorities. And I definitely can work in various roles with school districts or post-secondary institutions, except I would prefer that they create one that is union-free and that is related to the variety of my skill sets as a polymath. That's never going to happen. It would take a miracle that they would admit within the system that they are, kind of rotten to the core if you just want to evaluate them in one way, patient-centered for medical or learner-centered for education. Just evaluating them in this one way makes them rotten to the core. So for me, all the barriers I've documented over years in screenshots, in recordings, in emails for education, and also, for example, the letter I wrote to the BC Ministry of Education during the frustrations with my master's degree, and to get the response I did, is proof that I wanted to find my place in there that would be learner-centered and as a culture-repairing person within what is often admitted when there's unions or it's on the news, the systemic issues, right? So also when it comes to working in mental health, for example, I've cataloged how treatment centers aren't getting better at providing the kind of treatment. People don't go back into addiction, they just normalize addiction more. And also a mental health, they're trying to domesticate me to be like the norm, which is ineffective. And domestication is, as the creator of the HSD theory, is something I can explain in front of a room of psychiatrists. One of the ways that they, through these mental illnesses that affect majorities, also spread the mental illnesses that used to affect minorities, but that more and more are becoming increasingly high percentages of people, which of course devolves us. It's like crimes against humanity. It devolves us every generation. We have not just parents who aren't fit to raise their own kids. We have educators who aren't fit to work in schools. We have medical care providers who aren't fit to work in these institutions of theirs either. So I did make an attempt, let's say, to contact the Canadian Mental Health Association and say, I'd like to talk about this, do seminars and go around the country and talk about this as a way to say, we need to talk about this paradigm. Otherwise, we're going to continue to struggle in the help we're supposed to provide. And we're more and more going to be faced as mental health providers with struggles of our own that'll make it that, yeah, we'll get paid to do a job, but we'll keep the clients on that side of the door and we'll be among ourselves as peers on this side of the door. That's one thing you can measure is increasing, right? It's not trained people, and the people that train are also a mess. Don't ask me about the people that were coming to give a course in Kitkatla and how, you know, some of them had issues they hadn't worked through, let's say, and how they were going to charge Kitkatla a large amount of money because their housing wasn't properly prepared for them or something like that, and Kitkatla was going to pay for it. You know, like it's just money laundering scams with no real services provided, and when they're provided, it's not with somebody of quality. I did appreciate the assist course that I took recently, but also I found that, you know, they do suffer from forms of domestication, the facilitators of the course. So in a way, you know, when that becomes so strong among the norm, they are going to suffer because they will have to lower their standards, which is unhealthy for, you know, people, primates with a conscience. So for me, I've documented how, you know, barriers are created, let's say from BCGU, for me to even want to apply for a job. Like the last one I applied for, and they need somebody because it should have started already, is I say I would very much prefer to be hired as an independent. Otherwise, I could make an exception, BCGU again, if my relocation expenses are covered. And, you know, it's within the province because there's no way I'm taking a risk to lose my PWD benefits unless I'm in a job for, you know, at least 6 months and it's going well. Because, you know, it's too risky and there's no way to transfer these benefits to another place. And these benefits will never enough allow me to move to another place just on the benefits. And definitely not purchase a property that for me is where I see myself happy if I keep living. Of course, I don't mind getting a terminal diagnosis and giving up that dream, because getting a terminal diagnosis means I won't be disappointed, not in my part of not achieving that dream, but in the barriers of the species I share DNA with, which is very predictably going to continue to get worse, as my theory has demonstrated for years and years, as I accumulate data on it and research findings and show you this is you, this is me, and this is what my life among you has been like. So it's not okay that I'm not able to earn income in industries that, let's say, require me to have a different type of diploma or degree or certification, while also omitting the fact that I do better with the patients and learners that they do. And then they want me to go get into debt, something that I've already moved myself away from many, many years ago. If you don't get that, you don't get human rights.